If you are going to add a pocket to your Sulky Perfect Tee, then you will need to add the pocket first. I have my bodice front here. I have my pocket cut on the fold here. You can see that when I open the pocket, it looks like this. Now we're going to fold it right sides together, so you're looking at the wrong side of the fabric. We're going to begin sewing here. So down, around the curve and up, and then we're going to stop here. We're going to start sewing here and finish sewing up to the fold, leaving a 1-inch opening here unsewn, with which we will use to turn our pocket. Now, this is an additional step, but I do find it helpful to use my wash away Wonder Tape. I prefer to sew my pocket with my sewing machine. And adding the wash away Wonder Tape helps stabilize the seam of your pocket to keep it from getting wavy and stretching out when you are sewing. You are welcome to sew the pocket on your serger. This is simply my preferred method. Now you can see I'm going to leave my 1-inch opening here, but I went ahead and put the wash away Wonder Tape over the entire thing. I'm even going to put one here across the fold to just stabilize everything and hold it in place. Now you can see I'm peeling off the backing of the wash away Wonder Tape. And what I love about this is that when you wash your garment in the first wash, every piece of the stabilizer washes away. So it is as if it were never there. All right, now we're going to fold this right sides together. Make sure it's nice and straight. Line up that curve at the bottom. Oh. Let's try that again. There we go. Line up that curve at the bottom. Line up these sides, nice and straight. There we go. And this side as well. Just gonna fix this little pucker. There we go. Now you can see how much it stabilizes the pocket. I can move it with freedom. It's not going to slip or adjust when I'm sewing. I'm going to use a straight stitch on my sewing machine, sew around, leave an opening, and then finish. If you are constructing the pocket with the V bottom, then you will need to pivot at each of the 3 points. You will have the point at the bottom, and then a point on either side at the bottom of your pocket. So you can see here, I have sewn down the side, and I have almost reached the bottom of my pocket here. I'm simply going to sew forward to the bottom, making sure that my needle is in the downward position. If your needle is up, simply lower your needle so that it is down through your fabric. Raise your presser foot and turn your fabric so that the next line of stitching is directly in line with your presser foot. Lower your presser foot, sew forward to the point. And when you reach the V point, I'm going to go forward one more. Again, lower your needle into your fabric, raise your presser foot, pivot your project so that the free edge of your fabric is directly in line with your presser foot. Lower your presser foot and sew to this point. Again, raise your presser foot, pivot your project, lower your presser foot, and sew right off the end of your pocket. being sure to remember to leave the 1/2 inch opening on one side of your pocket with which you will use to turn your project. So I have my pocket sewn with my opening here. Now I'm simply going to trim the corners here, being careful not to cut through my line of stitching. So here I have my 1 inch opening. I'm just going to pull apart the Wash Away Wonder tape, and I'm going to turn the pocket right side out. I'm going to use my scissors to poke the corners so that they're nice and straight. There we go. So I have my 2 corners at the top, my nice straight line at the side, my curve around the bottom, my beautiful pocket. Now at this point, I will press. Now you can see the opening is here, but because I had the piece of Wash Away Wonder tape there, I fold my excess free edge, and it just simply holds everything in place so that it's imperceptible that there is an opening there. So I'm simply going to go press my pocket and be right back. Okay, now that I've pressed my pocket, we are going to find pocket placement for our pocket. So I have my bodice front here, and I have part of my pattern here. You'll have the entire pattern. I just simply keep this spare piece for my pocket placement. You line up the arm side and the shoulder, just like that. And then I fold back the pocket placement line. I lay my pocket down beneath. And simply line up the corner of your pocket with the corner of the placement line, just like that. Now I always remove and make sure that it is straight. You can double check. Do I have placement correct? No, I think it can pull down just a tiny bit. Yes. There we go. You see that? The pocket's right here, nice and straight. And now again, I'm going to use my Wash Away Wonder tape to adhere it or baste it to the bodice front to hold it in place while I sew. Simply going to fold this back. Be careful not to move the pocket. There we go. And this side. You can see just what a helpful tool this Wash Away Wonder tape is. I use it so frequently. And then I'm going to place a piece across the bottom, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfectly in line with the curve. Just place a piece along the bottom. Line up that nice curve. There you go. And now I am going to go to my sewing machine, and with a straight stitch on my sewing machine, I'm going to edge stitch. So I'm going to sew as close to the edge of the pocket as I can, slowly and carefully. I'm going to elongate my stitch as long as it will go, and on my sewing machine that will be a length of 4. So I'm going to back stitch at the beginning, sew straight, sew curved around the bottom, back up to the top, and back stitch again to help reinforce the corner of my pocket with a straight stitch on my sewing machine. Now you can see the pocket attached here. One of the things I love about the style of this pattern is that the top of the pocket is not top stitched. I love the way that it's a soft fold. If you prefer a different style, you're welcome to top stitch the top of the pocket before attaching it to your garment. It's entirely up to you to customize your garment in the way that you see fit. can also see that on this example, I chose an Oakley brushed sweater knit, just like the one you have, that has a complementing color to this solid brushed sweater knit. And so you can play around with this pattern in the future with fabric that you purchase from So English or that you have at home in your stash. Play around with pattern and color. You can do stripes and polka dots, solids and prints. Mix and match your pocket with your garment and really elevate this simple basic tee to express your own personal style.